Rain. An old English mansion. A man in a black cloak stands by the window. And he waits. He waits for the one who was once called the hope of the magical world. Today we will see what would have happened if Harry Potter had chosen the wrong side. Make yourself comfortable. We are starting. By the window, someone clad in a long black cloak stood, straining to look into the distance. The face was hidden by a hood. Tall. A hand with slender fingers slowly emerged from under the cloak and rested on the back of the chair by the window. It was raining. Through such a veil of rain, no owl will get through, he pondered. The door creaked. Without turning around, the one looking into the distance slowly spoke.
I knew you would come, Harry. I was waiting for you.
Tom, I had some business to attend to. I completed it successfully. I don't think it's worth bringing you into it.
I think it is worth it.
The cold, harsh voice penetrated to the core.
Tom, I did exactly what you advised. I feel an extraordinary sense of satisfaction and duty fulfilled.
Tom turned to Harry and threw back his hood. A slight smirk distorted the face of Tom Riddle, the face of Lord Voldemort. Before him stood none other than Harry Potter, the boy who lived. Harry Potter, the right hand of the Dark Lord, a close friend. The surviving wizards who refused to submit to Voldemort now feared to speak Harry Potter's name as they once feared to speak the Dark Lord's name. The Second War ended in Voldemort's favor. Harry joined Voldemort at the age of 19, 2 years after graduating from Hogwarts, and from that moment began a brutal, bloody slaughter. Since no one could have imagined that Harry Potter would side with Voldemort, he was entrusted with many secrets. Without Harry, Tonks would not have been killed, whose whereabouts in the mountains were revealed to Voldemort by Harry, Alastor Moody, killed by Voldemort himself. Molly and Arthur Weasley would not have been killed, and their sons Fred, George, Bill, Charlie, and Percy would not have died. Only Ginny and Ron remained alive from the Weasleys. They lived together with Remus Lupin in the Burrow. Harry became close with the Malfoys. Draco became his partner, and Lucius and Narcissa treated him like an adopted son. And today, Harry Potter was once again out hunting. This time the victim was Hermione Granger. Hermione was a transfiguration professor at Hogwarts, and by extension the headmistress. After the death of Albus Dumbledore 11 years ago, the year the boy who lived joined Voldemort, Minerva McGonagall was appointed headmistress, but she perished defending the first years. They were attacked by Dementors. Hogwarts was dying. Each year, fewer students enrolled at Hogwarts. There was also a shortage of teachers. Severus Snape did not dare to return to his old master, for which he was killed. Defense against the dark arts was taught by Lucius Malfoy. Hermione was forced to hire him, as no one else would take the position. Now the students of the School of Witchcraft and Wizardry were truly learning dark magic. Starting from the 3rd year, Lucius taught certain students forbidden spells, Cruciatus, Imperius, Avada Kedavra. All this, of course, at the request of the Dark Lord. Voldemort was preparing a huge army of ruthless and cold-blooded killers. Harry sat in the chair and stared thoughtfully into the extinguished fireplace. Voldemort smirked again.
What are you sitting there for? Or are you even unable to light a fire in the fireplace with your wand?
Shut up, Tom!
Harry waved his wand and blue flames flared up in the fireplace. Quick footsteps echoed in the corridor. A tall, stately young man with hair the color of molten silver entered the room. He greeted Harry with a slight nod. Then, throwing his soaking wet cloak over the back of the chair where Harry was sitting, he cleared his throat and said,
"Everything is ready, my lord."
Excellent, Draco. I assume my assistance is not needed.
No.
A huge owl with dark plumage flew into the room. Perching on Voldemort's shoulder, it extended its claw.
Thank you, Lucifer.
Taking the letter in his hands and quickly scanning it, the Dark Lord frowned. The owl flew to Draco's shoulder. After a moment's pause, Voldemort spoke.
Alas, my friends, I cannot accompany you. Urgent matters. see each other in the evening. Harry, read this. It will do you good.
He added, tossing the letter to Potter. Then Voldemort tightened his cloak and with a soft pop disapparated. Harry began to read the letter. I must inform you that your immediate assistance is required at Hogwarts regarding the headmistress. I apologize for the disturbance, my lord. Please, just do not take Potter with you. He will see everything later. I would like to surprise him. A pleasant surprise. Lucius Malfoy.
So, what does it say?
None of your business, mate. This only concerns me and Tom.
Oh, really? Maybe I shouldn't go with you now?
Don't go. No one is forcing you.
No way. I'm going. I've dreamed all my life of dealing with the last Weasleys.
Draco's grey eyes sparkled with vengeful fire.
Shall we disapparate?
Well, we're not going to travel by a network of flu powder, are we? You know, sometimes you really surprise me.
And disappoint.
Enough chatter. Just a second, let me dry my cloak.
Muttered Draco, aiming his wand at the cloak. 3 minutes later, Harry Potter and Draco Malfoy stood at the entrance to the burrow. Glancing at each other, they drew their wands. Harry shouted,
Hey there, in the burrow, you're being waited for.
Footsteps were heard. The door swung open. Standing in the doorway, proudly straightened, was Lupin. He was pale, his face marked with several thin scratches.
What, was there a full moon recently?
Yeah, our wolf was roaming the fields.
What do you need here?
Just a little thing. 3 innocent lives and that's all. We'll be leaving.
Draco did not change his habit of mocking the victim before death.
You won't get to Ron and Ginny, I said that. Expelliarmus!
Lupin waved his wand.
Ha! Petrificus totalis.
A blue beam shot from his wand and ensnared Lupin. Remus froze. He was in despair.
Harry, how do we kill him?
I don't know, Draco. Let's keep it simple. Avada Kedavra. And that's it.
Well,
Let's get it over with. Let's finish him off quickly. Avada Kedavra!
Without consulting each other, Harry and Draco shouted. 2 green beams struck Lupin in the chest, right in the heart. He staggered and fell face down on the grass.
So, one down. Draco, did I ask you to help?
sorry, partner.
Oh, never mind. Let's go inside.
Gripping their wands tightly, Draco and Harry entered the house shoulder to shoulder. The hallway was empty. They walked into the kitchen. The light was on. A strange, ringing silence. Draco lowered his wand and turned to Harry.
It seems they got away.
Of course, right in the middle of everything. Unbelievable.
Ron jumped out from under the table and pointed his wand at Malfoy. Draco flinched and froze.
Crucio!
Harry shouted angrily. Ron dropped his wand and curled up on the floor in pain. Harry Potter, who had been his friend for so many years, was now looming over him, enjoying the effect of the curse. Harry lowered his wand. Breathing heavily, Ron got on all fours.
You filthy bastard.
Crucio, what did you say? Repeat it, I didn't hear.
Bastard. Traitor.
I know, thanks for the compliment.
Harry lowered his wand for a moment, lifted the curse off Malfoy and turned to Ron.
So what? Where were we?
Harry, why are you dragging this out? I have an idea. What was he most afraid of? At school? Spiders?
Yes.
Malfoy casually waved his wand.
Imperio. Look, little Ronnie, spiders.
Malfoy stretched out the words. Ron's eyes widened. He saw spiders around him, giant, black with hairy bellies. They clicked their venomous mandibles, closing in on him.
Ronnie, they're making you dance a jig.
Malfoy said, dragging out the words. A heart-wrenching scream of terror escaped Ron's mouth. But then little Ginny rushed in from behind the door and, pointing her wand at Malfoy, shouted,
Protego!
Malfoy was thrown against the wall. He slowly slid down it and fell in a shapeless heap on the floor.
Filthy girl, Avada Kedavra!
A green flash erupted. Ginny fell to the floor as if struck down. Ron got to his feet beside her.
Rictus Empra.
Ron screamed with the last of his strength. Harry dodged. He stood opposite Ron, just 3 steps away. Silence fell. In slow motion, Harry Potter's hand shot up.
Goodbye, Ron. Avada Kedavra.
The boy who lived whispered. Without a sound, Ron's body fell next to Ginny's. The brother and sister lay motionless on the wooden floor. The brave girl who dared to oppose Voldemort, who dared to oppose Harry Potter, and he, Harry, had once liked her. Slowly, Harry approached Ginny's body. He turned her onto her back. Her red hair was splayed out. Her brown eyes stared into emptiness. She had changed a lot. She had grown up, become more beautiful. Yes, she was beautiful, but not enough to stay alive. Harry knelt beside her. He brushed a strand of fiery red hair from her forehead and closed her eyes with the hand still gripping the wand. Then he leaned down and kissed her on the forehead. At that moment, something stirred behind him. Harry quickly stood up and turned around. It was just Malfoy coming too.
Ah, little brat.
Malfoy said, rubbing his bruised neck.
It's over, we can go back.
Did you kill them?
Yes, as you can see.
Well, I wanted to deal with them myself, especially Ron.
Lying unconscious on the floor?
Harry asked with undisguised sarcasm in his voice. Malfoy fell silent.
Let's apparate to Hogwarts. You don't agree?
No, it's just that the Dark Lord didn't want you to show up there.
And when do I ever ask him where and when I should go? He's not my boss.
An owl flew into the empty kitchen of the burrow, the very same one, Malfoy's, named Lucifer. Dropping a letter straight into Harry's hands, the owl flew away. The note contained only 4 words, apparate to Hogwarts, Tom. Smirking, Potter handed the parchment to Malfoy.
See? I'm a bit ahead of Voldemort's thoughts.
Malfoy muttered something incomprehensible in response, threw the parchment into the fireplace, and apparated to Hogwarts. Harry Potter hesitated. He took a last look around the kitchen. For a moment, his gaze lingered on the bodies. Then he looked at the famous Weasley clock. All the hands had stopped at the mark death. With his arms crossed over his chest, Harry apparated after Draco. Harry Potter landed in front of the main entrance to Hogwarts. The heavy oak doors were tightly shut. To the left of them sat Draco Malfoy on a stump, a sullen expression on his face.
No hospitality. We are graduates of this school. Former students, 7 years down the drain.
At the mention of the dog, Harry remembered Sirius. Unintentionally, Harry's hand, tightly gripping his wand, shot up and pointed the wand straight at Malfoy's heart.
Hey, what are you doing?
Draco screamed in horror.
Don't you dare mention that saying in front of me. Don't you dare.
Oh, okay.
Harry lowered his wand.
So what are we going to do? Sit here?
Potter kicked the stump on which Draco was sitting with all his might.
Voldemort, as always, has no time? Gah!
Who said there's no time?
A cold voice came from behind Harry.
Tom, I swear, if you make me wait, I will kill you.
You, Harry, have forgotten that we truly cannot fight. Our wands share the same magical core.
I don't care, and don't waste time on empty, stupid chatter. You asked me to apparate to Hogwarts. I'm here.
Let's go.
The Dark Lord ascended the steps.
And me, my lord?
Draco asked timidly.
You two, come up. I have something to show you.
Though Voldemort stood with his back to them, they could confidently tell by his voice that a self-satisfied smirk twisted his face.
Alohomora.
The doors swung open before the Dark Lord. Harry hadn't been here for just a couple of years, but how much the castle had changed. Gloomy draperies on the walls. Almost all the paintings had been taken down. The armor was dirty with soot and rust. There were very few torches, and those that were there were heavily sooted and provided almost no light. An ominous silence spread over the castle. Lord Voldemort climbed the wide staircase. Draco and Harry followed closely behind. Harry noticed that the stone from which the steps and railings were made was chipped in many places. They kept climbing and climbing. Countless corridors, passages, staircases, empty halls. On the right and left, tightly shut classroom doors that had been closed for years. The glass in many windows had been shattered. The castle was in disrepair. Finally, they found themselves in front of the entrance to the headmaster's office. A pile of shards and the head of a stone gargoyle, which had once guarded the entrance, lay on the floor. Voldemort climbed the stairs and entered the headmaster's office. Since Dumbledore's time, it hadn't changed much, except for the added dust and books. Behind the desk in the headmaster's chair sat Lucius Malfoy. On the perch that had once belonged to Dumbledore's phoenix, Fawkes, sat the owl Lucifer. When Voldemort entered, Lucius stood up and bowed respectfully.
Hello again, my lord. No need, Lucius. Oh, Harry, Draco, hello.
Hello, Father.
Good day, Lucius.
Harry greeted the elder Malfoy with restraint. Long ago, the elder Malfoy had ceased to be Mr. Malfoy for Potter. Now it was either Lucius or Malfoy.
My lord, allow me to show the young people what they were actually sent here for by you. I allow it.
Voldemort replied in a strange voice. Lucius Malfoy waved his wand. A beautiful girl in a long black dress emerged from behind the bookshelf. She haughtily turned away and closed her eyes.
No, darling, that won't do. Imperio.
Lucius used the spell to make her turn her head and open her eyes.
Hermione?
Harry gasped.
Granger.
Draco finished for him.
She can't talk to you right now. I've placed a silencing charm on her. But I can lift it if you wish.
Lucius said with flattery in his voice, addressing Voldemort more than the others.
We can handle this ourselves, Lucius. Thank you very much for your work. As I hope you have already understood, from this moment on, you are appointed the headmaster of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry.
The Dark Lord proclaimed with dignity.
Oh, thank you, my lord. I don't know how to thank you.
The newly appointed headmaster stammered obsequiously.
No need for thanks. We are taking Granger as planned earlier. And now, before we say goodbye, I intend to express a small wish. I want the school to be called Hogwarts of Lord Voldemort from now on. Will you do that?
The Dark Lord asked, and without waiting for a response, continued.
I rely on you until we meet again. Harry, Draco, it's time for us to go. And you, dear lady, will come with us.
From Voldemort's wand, cords extended and wrapped around Hermione, the ends of the cords ending up in the Dark Lord's hand. Harry remembered Snape, who had tied Lupin in the same way when Harry was in his 3rd year. Harry sat in a chair, with Draco sitting across from him. Voldemort was not in the room. Hermione, still bound, was kneeling on the carpet by the fireplace. Harry pondered, gazing into the fire in the hearth. Moony, Padfoot, Prongs, and Wormtail. Today, the last of the quartet passed away. Prongs had died long ago, 29 years ago. Padfoot. Padfoot died when Harry was in his 5th year. That was 15 years ago. Wormtail was strangled about 5 years ago. Today the last one left. Moony, Remus Lupin, the werewolf. 1 half-blood less, Professor Umbridge would have said. She would have said if she were alive. Harry smiled to himself. Yes, she got what she deserved from him. Harry vividly remembered her death. First the Cruciatus curse, then 5 Avada Kedavra curses at the same time. The most loyal Death Eaters participated in the murder. Draco interrupted Potter's thoughts.
Harry, hello. Are you deaf?
No.
Then why are you silent?
I'm thinking.
I didn't know you could do that.
Draco exclaimed, but immediately regretted it.
Stupefy.
The stunning spell slipped from Harry's wand and struck Draco. Potter looked thoughtfully at his partner sprawled on the floor.
Hey you, Granger, do you want me to untie you? Nod.
Hermione, struggling with herself, nodded. Harry raised his wand.
Diffindo.
The ropes fell. Hermione rose on unsteady legs and began to rub her wrists. Harry smiled at her. Something in that smile did not please Hermione. Harry extended his hand to her. Still hesitating, she finally offered him her palm. Potter seated Hermione on the couch.
Coffee? Tea?
No, thank you.
What, afraid I'll poison you?
Hermione hesitated. Yes, she was afraid. And not just of that. She felt uncomfortable drinking tea with him, with a traitor. She remained silent.
Then maybe you'd like to have dinner?
No?
Today was the day of Dumbledore's death. 11 years ago, on September 24th, Harry Potter fought Dumbledore and won. Lucius Malfoy burst into the headmaster's office. He did not find Hermione there, so he headed to a small graveyard in the Forbidden Forest. Dumbledore was buried there. Every year, on September the 24th, Hermione Granger would take a bouquet of white lilies and go into the forest. She would leave the flowers on the grave and then wander for hours in the Forbidden Forest, trying to come to terms with her immense grief. Lucius found her in the forest, and using a dozen different spells on her, she brilliantly countered and dodged them. Dueling was Hermione's forte, eventually subdued her and brought her to Hogwarts. Harry Potter looked at Hermione. Her chestnut hair glowed in the flickering flames. She was very beautiful.
What, mourning for that old lover of muggles and blood traitors? For that feeble idiot? For Dumbledore, right?
Harry smirked. Hermione looked at him with disgust, but tears stood in her eyes. Harry's words had struck her hard, but she endured for now.
You become quite silent, though.
And what is there to talk about with you?
Granger said with contempt.
Well, I don't even know about anything.
Hermione fell silent again. She was helpless. Her wand was with the elder Malfoy. Harry Potter casually pulled out his wand. Hermione merely squinted.
You've changed a lot, Granger. Since school days, since the times we studied together.
Potter observed Hermione's reaction to these words, but she was inscrutable. Potter continued.
You've become beautiful.
Harry fell silent. Hermione slowly raised her gaze to him.
And?
I suppose I like you.
And I don't like you.
Hermione replied firmly. Harry smiled strangely, leaned forwards, took Hermione by the shoulders, and pulled her to him. She wanted to scream something, but Harry Potter silenced her with a kiss. At first she tried to twist away, but to no avail. Harry's hands slid down her back. Hermione softened and surrendered. She began to gasp, and Potter still wouldn't let her go. A strange scene unfolded for Voldemort, who entered the room. A bright fire blazed in the fireplace. Draco lay motionless, sprawled on the floor. On the couch, Harry Potter and the former prisoner, Hermione Granger, were locked in a passionate kiss. Voldemort entered quietly. He stood in the doorway, arms crossed over his chest with long fingers, watching. A strange, otherworldly smirk twisted the Dark Lord's face. After a couple of minutes, Voldemort cleared his throat loudly. No reaction. He coughed louder and more insistently. Then Harry pulled away from Hermione, who was in a semi-faint state from lack of oxygen.
Harry, am I coming? And what do I see?
Tom,
I've been Tom for many years. What?
I would like to remind you that my personal life is none of your business.
Your personal life? Is that so? Flirting with our mutual captives?
Mocked the Dark Lord.
And why not?
Because...
Barked Voldemort.
Riddle, I won't let anyone shout at me.
Potter, I'm not raising my voice.
Tom replied calmly.
And now please leave me with her.
Harry waved his hand towards Hermione.
All right. Can I take Draco with me?
No.
Thank you.
Voldemort approached Malfoy, pointed his wand at him and whispered.
Mobile corpus.
Draco's body lifted off the ground and slowly floated after the Dark Lord. Looking back at Harry one last time, Voldemort quietly but very distinctly whispered.
You look good together.
And added, now in a full voice.
All the best. If you need me, I'll be in the dining room.
Winking at his friend, Voldemort disappeared. Harry watched him for a long time, and he was pulled out of his stupor by a weak moan and Hermione's voice.
Harry?
Since when am I Harry to you?
Asked the boy who lived with feigned indignation.
Harry, come to me.
Hermione smiled seductively. Harry Potter, unable to resist any longer, pulled her to him. Meanwhile, Voldemort was sitting on the first floor of that house, sipping red wine from a glass. He held a photo album in his hands. From the photograph, Lily and James Potter looked back at him. Voldemort, not knowing why, smiled. sincerely from the bottom of his heart.
I hated you all these years. Because of you, Sirius died. You handed me over to the Dursleys, turning 16 years of my life into hell. It's all your fault, Dumbledore. You.
The headmaster of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, bound by the Petrificus Totalis spell, stood before Harry Potter, who was gripping his wand.
It's all your fault, Dumbledore. Avada Kedavra.
A green flash erupted, and the dead body of Albus Dumbledore fell at the feet of 19-year-old Harry Potter. From the shadow of a huge oak, Voldemort emerged.
Excellent boy.
Voldemort, stay away from me, murderer.
Yes, Harry, I am a murderer, just like you. Will you deny it?
Harry looked up at the darkest wizard of all time and pondered. The Dark Lord continued.
We are alike, very alike. Will you deny it?
He repeated his somewhat rhetorical question. Harry remained silent.
Both orphans, both of impure blood, both great. You, the great light. I, the great darkness. Will you deny it?
Here, Harry answered that question for the first time.
Yes, I will deny it. I was the Great Light, and now I am just a murderer. I want to do evil. Good is not my lot. I just realized that. I enjoy killing.
Why don't we join forces?
Good idea.
We will create our empire, the kingdom of darkness. They will fear us. We will become the lords of the world.
Deal, buddy.
Voldemort smirked and extended his hand to Harry.
Shall we be friends?
He asked with a smirk, just like Voldemort.
Of course.
11 years have passed since then. Years of murders, blood, horrors. Since that first murder, the murder of Dumbledore, Harry had turned into a bloodthirsty predator. When he cornered his victim, sparks of death ignited in his pupils. He anticipated the kill. He loved to inflict suffering on his victim. He was good at it. He enjoyed it. Doomed, he watched in horror the dance of the wand, the dance of death. Voldemort had taught Harry many terrible spells besides Cruciatus, Imperius, and Avada Kedavra. Draco Malfoy, who now walked through life side by side with Harry Potter, sometimes even feared him. Harry could be so merciless and fierce. Almost nothing remained of that boy with the wide green eyes who once timidly challenged the ultimate evil. Draco Malfoy marveled at how much Potter could change, how he, Draco, did not see in Harry the traits of a killer and a genius of evil. Draco Malfoy also wondered why he had not befriended Harry Potter at school. Severus Snape was sitting in his office in the country house where he lived with his family during the holidays. It was August the 14th. There was very little time left to return to Hogwarts. One thing pleased Snape: there was no Potter in school anymore. Harry graduated from the School of Witchcraft and Wizardry last year. Severus sat with his back to the door, behind a huge desk. The door creaked. Severus, not turning around, grumbled,
Mom, how many times have I asked you not to enter without knocking?
The cold voice made Snape flinch and turn around in horror.
The Dark Lord never knocks on doors. He simply swings them open before him.
Voldemort smirked. Severus Snape fell to his knees before Voldemort.
Oh, my lord, we haven't heard from you in so long I was starting to worry.
Lie.
Roared Voldemort, pointing his wand at the potions professor.
Crucio.
Voldemort said quietly and calmly. Pain wrapped around Severus Snape like a burning cocoon. The floor disappeared from under his feet. He curled up on the wooden floor. He screamed, loudly and desperately. It seemed the torture would never end. Snape cried out,
Kill me, Voldemort! Kill me!
That would be too easy, Severus.
Voldemort said slyly, lowering his wand. The potions professor quietly gasped at the feet of the Dark Lord. Severus was thrown onto his back. He wanted to scream from the wild pain, but couldn't. It felt like the air had been knocked out of his lungs. He began to choke. Tears welled up in his eyes. Voldemort raised his wand again.
I will kill you anyway, and you know it. It only depends on you how long this will last.
Snape reached for his wand.
No, Crucio. Don't try to resist. It won't help anyway.
After a while, Voldemort cast another spell. It felt like Severus's throat had been slit with a sharp knife. Blood gushed out. Voldemort uttered the counterspell. The wound instantly healed, leaving not even a scar.
Well, Severus, look at me. This will be the last thing you see in your life. Conjunctivitis.
A white light struck the eyes of the potions master. The light faded for him. Forever, he went blind.
Severus, I'm bored. I just want to say, it's a pity you didn't come to me 4 years ago.
I hate you.
Severus croaked.
Mutually. Farewell, Severus. Avada Kedavra.
Severus Snape could not see the green flash, but he felt it and heard the whistling of flying death. Dinner was served, as always, exactly at 7 o'clock in the evening. The house elves never dawdled and made sure that the dishes they prepared were always of the highest quality. They knew very well what the slightest mistake in this house was punished with. Lucius Malfoy sat at the head of the table. To his right sat Narcissa, and to his left, Draco. Opposite Lucius sat Harry Potter. The table was set with half-empty plates. In a second, they disappeared. A house elf in a black pillowcase with the Malfoy family crest embroidered on its chest rushed to the table. In the elf's hands was a tray with 4 wine glasses. Bowing deeply, the elf asked, "What wine do the gentlemen desire?" Lucius surveyed the people sitting at the table and commanded,
Merlot, 1914.
"At your service, sir." The elf, who had already set the glasses, disappeared for a moment and immediately returned with a huge bottle made of green glass. The wine was poured into the glasses, the elves were sent back to the kitchen, the table was cleared. It was time for conversation. Gently but authoritatively grasping the glass with his fingers, Lucius took a sip of the drink.
Harry, how many Aurors did you say are in that squad planning to attack us?
About 200.
200 people.
Yes.
Ha! And they hope for victory.
Lucius asked challengingly. Harry merely shrugged in response. The face of the 20-year-old young man was serious and stern beyond his years. His green eyes seemed to pierce through his interlocutor. Harry Potter's reaction was lightning fast. In one moment, he was calmly reading the newspaper, and in the next, he held his wand steady in his hand, aimed at the heart of his opponent. In recent months, Harry had often been at the Malfoy mansion. Since he had joined Voldemort's side after killing Albus Dumbledore, he had become a welcome guest here. Lucius and Narcissa had grown fond of the boy, who now resembled Draco so much. They treated Harry like an adopted son. At least Narcissa did. She harbored a truly tender affection for Harry Potter. Lucius respected Harry more and valued him as an ally. Nevertheless, it was impossible not to notice how the elder Malfoy worried about Harry's fate and rejoiced at their meetings. Draco quickly found common ground with Harry. They always found something to talk about. They also shared a common hobby, fencing. Harry learned to fight with swords at the Malfoy mansion. Fencing as a pastime was a tradition in the Malfoy house. Lucius was an excellent swordsman. He taught Draco this art when he was 9 years old. And now Lucius was teaching Harry as well. The dueling hall was located on the 3rd floor. Heavy double doors concealed a spacious room decorated in burgundy tones. Huge windows let in a lot of light. The shadow of the patterns fell on the carpet in a whimsical design. On the wall opposite the windows hung various weapons: swords, curved sabers, sharp daggers, swords, and several richly decorated jeweled knives. The stand was upholstered in black velvet. The blades shimmered mesmerizingly, and the jewels adorning the hilts sparkled in the sunlight with all the colors of the rainbow. Lucius Malfoy was a decent teacher, and Harry picked things up quickly, so within 2 weeks of starting his training, he was already fencing evenly with Lucius. Harry particularly excelled with the sword and 2 sabers. Today, after dinner, Harry and Draco had a duel planned, a friendly duel. Harry took 2 sabers, the curved blades of which were adorned with a delicate, intricate pattern, and the hilts depicted the snarling faces of wolves. Draco also chose sabers as his weapons. Both were decorated with blood-red rubies. The opponents stood opposite each other. Lucius clapped his hands, and the duel began. The blades clashed with a melodic ringing, sometimes even sparking. Harry and Draco complemented each other flawlessly. Their fight could be called more of a dance than a battle. Harry skillfully deflected Draco's furious attacks. It seemed that there would be no winner in this duel. But suddenly, Harry made a feint. He pretended to thrust the blades toward his opponent's abdomen, but halfway through, he directed the points of the sabers toward Draco's neck. The deadly blades froze a millimeter from the now unprotected throat of the younger Malfoy. Harry Potter smiled triumphantly. Draco released the hilts of his sabers, showing that he surrendered. With a dull thud, the defeated sabers fell to the carpet. Lucius and Narcissa applauded. Narcissa approached the duelists. "Draco, you fought well. Harry, beyond all praise." Lucius approached Draco and placed his hands on his shoulders.
Well done, Draco. You fought very well. But Harry proved to be better and quicker than you today.
Harry sheathed the sabers with a light motion. Lucius Malfoy turned to him.
As a reward for today's victory, you can take these sabers with their scabbards for yourself. Consider it my birthday gift to you.
Smiling gently, the head of the family left. Narcissa immediately followed him. Draco remained standing in uncertainty. Harry patted his friend on the shoulder.
Draco, my friend, everything will be fine.
Listen, Harry.
Yes?
It's your birthday today, right?
Right.
Well, and I want to give you a gift.
Draco mumbled shyly. He reached into the pocket of his robe and pulled out a figurine depicting a snake coiled in a ring. The snake itself was made of serpentinite, and its eyes were made of shining rubies. The miniature cobra looked alive. Harry gasped in admiration.
It's magnificent.
This is not just a trinket. It's a powerful magical item. You can summon the material body of this beauty at any time by calling her name. Her name is Cunidesmus.
Cunidesmus, come to me.
The figurine lying in Draco's palm trembled, raised its head, and looked Harry in the eyes. Then suddenly it was enveloped in green smoke. When the smoke cleared, a giant cobra, about 4 meters long, lay on the floor in front of Harry. Its shiny skin with a beautifully patterned design, and its sparkling eyes reminiscent of rubies. Harry gazed at the snake as if enchanted. He admired it.
Cunidesmus, come here.
Harry extended his hand toward the snake, palm down. Hissing softly, the snake slithered toward its master and, straightening up, froze a couple of centimeters from Harry's hand. Draco was genuinely happy that the birthday boy liked the gift. Harry, with trembling fingers, touched the snake's head. The cobra did not move. The young man cautiously ran his hand along the hood.
Draco, thank you. And how...
Harry stopped. He first looked at the cobra's hood, then quickly shifted his gaze to Draco.
Well, what is this?
The Dark Mark, Harry. The Dark Mark.
But why is the symbol of Voldemort on my snake?
This figurine was enchanted by the Dark Lord, at my request. But I made it myself, and I came up with the name. Yes, and by the way, Cunidesmus only obeys its master, which means only you.
And how do I turn Cunidesmus back into a figurine?
Just tell him, go away, and he will turn to stone.
Cunidesmus, go away!
The cobra obediently coiled up and enveloped itself in green smoke. In a moment, a serpentinite figurine lay in Harry Potter's palm. Harry looked at Draco, smiled, and said,
Draco, you handle the weapon excellently. You are a worthy opponent.
Thank you. You too. Worthy.
Harry patted his friend on the shoulder again and stepped out. Draco followed him. In Harry Potter's palm lay the serpentinite figurine.
It was a long time ago, Cunidesmus, but I remember everything as if it were just yesterday.
He whispered to the snake figurine. Harry suddenly thought that the snake winked at him.
Cunodesmus, come to me.
The familiar green smoke enveloped the figurine, and before his master appeared a fearsome 4-meter cobra.
You see, friend, how many years have passed, how much has happened. Damn! I started speaking in verses. That's what it means to rarely see a psychiatrist. What was I saying? Oh, yes. When I was 20, I received you as a gift for my birthday. Now I'm 30. Today is my wedding day.
Don't be afraid, master. This is not the scariest thing. And who is your bride? The cobra hissed. Since Harry was a snake speaker, a wizard who understood the language of snakes, he understood everything that Cunodesmus hissed perfectly.
Didn't I tell you? Her name is...
There was a knock at the door.
Harry, are you ready? There are only 40 minutes left until the ceremony.
Draco Malfoy was also getting married today. He was now standing at the closed door to Harry's room.
Of course I'm ready! Unlike some, I don't put on lipstick or powder my nose.
Harry quipped.
Harry, stop joking like that. I have a normal orientation. I am not gay.
Well, of course. Come on, you know I'm joking.
Draco snorted.
Cunodesmus, go away!
Harry whispered to the cobra. The young man stuffed the snake figurine into his pocket, adjusted his bow tie, and opened the door. Draco put on a serious face. A laugh involuntarily escaped Harry. Even though they were both 30, they acted like little kids and looked at each other and burst into laughter. Both wore strict black suits with cloaks thrown over them. Draco's was dark blue, and Harry's was bottle green. They wore bow ties around their necks. Draco seemed to have overdone it a bit with hair gel. It looked like he was completely bald, as his hair was slicked back so much. Harry didn't bother to tidy his hair at all. It was sticking out in all directions as usual. After calming down a bit, the friends began their ascent up the stairs to the 5th floor, to the church where for centuries the Malfoy family members had been married, where newborns were baptized and the dead were buried. By the doors, Harry and Draco were awaited by Lucius and Narcissa Malfoy. Narcissa fell into memories. I remember how many years ago our wedding was here too, Narcissa said, resting her head on Lucius's shoulder. Malfoy Sr. decisively removed his wife's head from his shoulder and turned to Harry and Draco.
The brides are waiting for you at the altar. Shall we begin?
The friends swallowed and nodded briefly. Lucius took his wife by the arm and opened the doors. The church was magnificent, just like everything in the Malfoy mansion. A shining altar, huge stained glass windows, several rows of heavy benches made of black ebony. At the altar stood 2 girls in wedding dresses. They were as beautiful as the moon and stars. One of them, with hair the color of melted silver, was dressed in a sky blue gown. The other, with a wave of cinnamon-colored hair, was in pure white. Hearing the doors open, they turned around simultaneously. They looked truly stunning. Each held a bouquet of white roses and white lilies, their hair styled in elaborate hairstyles, with minimal makeup on their faces, the makeup skillfully highlighting the natural beauty of the girls. Harry and Draco gasped in admiration. In the front row, among other guests, sat the Dark Lord himself. He couldn't miss the wedding of his best friend. Nevertheless, the expression on Voldemort's face was quite bored. Seeing Harry and Draco, he rose to meet them.
Hello?
The friends replied in unison, not even paying attention to how and with whom they greeted. They hurried to their brides. When Draco took his position to the left of the girl in blue and Harry to the left of the girl in white, the wedding ceremony began. "I'll see till death do you part. Do you, Draco Lucius Malfoy, take Blaise Zabini as your wife?"
Yes.
"Do you, Blaise Zabini, take Draco Lucius Malfoy as your husband?" "Yes." "Do you, Harry James Potter, take Hermione Granger as your wife?"
Yes.
"Do you, Hermione Granger, take Harry James Potter as your husband?"
Yes.
And now, newlyweds Harry and Hermione Potter and Draco and Blaise Malfoy, you may kiss each other. After the kisses, the brides decided to throw their wedding bouquets. Whoever catches such a bouquet will marry within a year. The bouquet thrown by Blaise was caught by Millicent Bulstrode, and the bouquet of Hermione was caught by Voldemort. The Dark Lord was in shock. Harry smiled at his astonished friend.
Good luck, friend. So, do you already have candidates to be your bride?
Draco, Blaise, and Hermione burst out laughing. Voldemort forced a smile. His expression turned out to be a little twisted and a bit sour. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a photographer appeared. Voldemort, as Harry's best man, got caught in the shot. Draco with Blaise and Harry with Hermione went on their honeymoon. The Dark Lord was left alone with the wedding bouquet and his thoughts. One evening, he took Harry's photo album again and sat by the fireplace to look at the photos. Here's a photo from James and Lily's wedding, and James's best man, Sirius Black. The Dark Lord scratched his chin and turned the page. And here's a photo from Harry and Hermione's wedding, and Harry's best man, him, Voldemort,